Now, the first video that I did for you today, of course, we're talking about Nio highlighting something very interesting, and that is the other sales revenue on their quarterly statement. Combined for this year, they might get to $1.4 billion, which obviously is something that is great. We have discussed in detail about that. If you have not watched that video, please, I would recommend that you go and watch, because we not only discuss about that $1.4 billion that Nio is expecting to generate in terms of the total revenues on the other sales. So this is the revenues outside the revenues that they generate from just selling cars. So I would recommend that you go watch, because we also touch on the potential of this revenue either getting to par with the total revenue that Nio generates from selling cars, or even maybe exceeding what are the potential of Nio having other sales revenue actually being more than the revenues that they get by selling just their cars. But anyways, I don't want to go back there. On this one, it looks like there are more videos that are coming about covering the most important thing that the Nio CEO reflected onto that talk that he was doing, right? Like I said, I'm not sure who the audience were, but this again was disclosed at that same event, because the background is the same. And on this one now, he was talking about something very important to you and me as the new investors. It was about profitability. But before we get to what he said about profitability, please like this video. Please subscribe if you have not done so, because over 60% of the people are just watching and have not subscribed. But I would like to appreciate and thank those that have subscribed to the channel. I really am motivated to continue giving this kind of content because of you guys liking also this video, the videos that I do on a daily basis, sharing the videos that I do. I'm telling you, it's something that is just so great. And as me creating content about Nio, honestly, when I see the likes, when I see you guys subscribing, it just makes me want to do more content for you. But of course, before we waste more time, let's go to what the Nio CEO said about profitability. So the video that I'm showing you there, the Nio CEO was saying that reaching profitability in Q4, it's a major challenge, right? It's a major challenge for Nio reaching profitability in Q4. This is what he starts with. But he's very confident that Nio is going to get to profitability in Q4. So I don't know, since last year Q3 earnings of Nio, how many times have the Nio CEO spoke about profitability? I think I've lost count. So what he's saying when he talks about the confidence that he has about Nio getting to profitability in Q4, he's not just saying, because I can guarantee you he has mentioned the word profitability more than 10 times since the first time he first mentioned it during the Q3 earnings last year in 2024. That is, remember, the first time that the Nio CEO went and talked about profitability coming in Q4 of this year. And that song has never changed. And he said he's very confident that right now in Q4, which is this quarter that we are in, Nio is going to achieve profitability, which to investors, this is good news. These are massive news, and they make me to also remain long and strong onto Nio. There is one thing that I like about our CEO, right? Yes, I know in the past Nio would say stuff, sometimes they don't get to fulfill what they are saying, but recently, if you really check, even on the guidance, for instance, that they give when they do their earnings, and they are giving the guidance of the quarter for which those earnings are being released at, they are not very far off, or they always meet the expectations, or what they always get to, what they always see deliveries reach what they said they would. And this, as an investor, obviously it speaks a lot of volumes also when we take that to profitability. I mean, just have a look, for instance, what Nio had said about their Q3 deliveries, total deliveries, those 87 to 91 total deliveries that they had disclosed during the Q2 earnings. A lot of people after the second week's insurance registrations thought that Nio was never going to reach their lower side of their guidance when it comes to the deliveries, and therefore people wrote the guidance that Nio gave off. And I said that, look, as long as Nio did not come and adjust, then that guidance which they gave, they are going to make sure that they deliver within it. And guess what? When they came and reported their deliveries, it was within 87 to 91,000, which was an all-time high. Quarterly deliveries, which is just so crazy. So I'm telling you all that to try to show you that when Nio is talking about profitability coming in Q4, do not take it very lightly, because he knows exactly what Nio needs to do to get to profitability. I mean, you will know that part of the things or initiatives that they started beginning of this year, the CBU, where they are only cutting, where they are only focusing on projects that really make financial sense, meaning that their projects, R&Ds that they are spending money on are the R&Ds with a good ROI, right? Return on investment, which is something that is very, very good. And you must know that Nio or everything else that is just making them lose money, they are cutting it off because they want to get to profitability. In Q3, Nio is not going to get to profitability. We know that. But in Q4, Nio is going to get to profitability because of, number one, the deliveries that they are going to get, the revenues that they are going to generate. Number two, because of the expenses cut down that Nio has been doing. I mean, you will know that there were people that, of course, were cut, I think in Q2, sometime in Q2, or they were retrenched by Nio because obviously they were trying to cut costs. There were a lot of duplicate posts, and Nio, to be efficient, more efficient, they jointly made, of course, roles or positions that are falling or that are catering both Nio and Onvo, which is something that is very, very good. And it was smart because with that, instead of having two guys doing the same thing, one guy is doing the same thing for Nio, for Onvo, and Firefly, which is obviously good. But the presidents, you will know that the Nio's group's brands have got the Nio main brand's president is Queen Lihon. He is the president of actually Nio as a whole. For the sub-brand Onvo, you know that Shen Fei is the president. For the Firefly sub-brand, Daniel Jean is the president. And those roles are as they are. But for the others, Nio made it clear that, of course, other roles, they can be merged, meaning that the same person will fill the space not only for the Nio main brand but also for Onvo, which is something that is very, very good. So there's a lot that Nio is doing in the background, trying to cut down on costs, at the same time growing revenues, at the same time growing margins, which is something that it's something which honestly is something that is just so great. So I am happy, man. And once again, the reason for this video, I'm telling you, it's just to remind you that don't even think that Nio is just playing with us when they say, or when they're talking about profitability in Q4. It is going to come. And the net losses that are expected in Q3, you already know it's just over $500 million. In Q4, net losses, in Q4, it will be a different game. It will be a different ball game. But anyways, I want to remain long. I want to remain strong onto Nio. I will be loading. I've decided that in terms of increasing my holdings onto Nio, I should be a bit more aggressive, meaning that this week, if all goes well, I might be loading 500 Nio shares. I might be buying. My average onto Nio is still at $13. I think $13.80. I've not been buying since my last big purchase, which I think I made, was it in July, end of July. I've not really bought anything, but I'm going in. I'm going to try and see if I can accumulate 500 Nio shares. That's if the average, or that's if the share price does not explode to $9 or $10. I'm gonna see if I can't get 500 Nio shares. That's my target. If I can get there, if I can get the 500 Nio shares, I'm telling you, it will be so great because my average will be coming down. Hopefully my average after that purchase, at least it's going towards $13 on the dot or below. I don't know. I just hope my average continues coming down. I will see whatever I can. This last remaining months for the year, I want to be as aggressive as I can, because you'll know that my target was obviously to get my average onto Nio below $9 before the share price catches with my average. But if whether that will be possible, we'll wait, we'll see. But I will only stop buying Nio once my average or the share price of Nio gets over my average. That is what I intend on doing. But as it stands right now, I'm going to continue buying. But otherwise, let me not bore you with what I'm going to do, but rather let me just end this video here and ask you once again to subscribe, to like, to hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless you all.